Hey babe, it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm not gonna come home. I'm just gonna sleep here at the warehouse. If there is a way when you come in the morning to bring a tall Americano with 4 shots, that'd be awesome. And look, this is the last one. This is the last daily vlog. We'll get back to some normal life. But if you can, I'll see you in the morning. Let's bang out one more vlog. Bye. Love you guys.
Good morning. I need him to wake up because today is the last daily vlog. And today's gonna be all about what a crazy year it's been.
When we bought this little couch, I didn't know it was a bed. It also turned into a bed. We got it from Walmart or Target, and it's super cheap. I mean, it's just like a whatever. But man, that came in handy last night. It came down to, I'm not even joking, 5 minutes before the video went live, before it was finished uploading. I've got 2 more big videos that are coming out pretty recently. One, how I became a national champion. That has to go out in this calendar year. I can't wait till January, contractually. But that's gonna take me a 3 or 4 day edit, and then I gotta start working on Impossible Route Washington. We also have to go, I fly out to Yellowstone to build igloos and sleep in the snow.
On this last one, let's talk a little bit about this month and the data. First off, let's talk about sleep.
I honestly really don't understand how humans have survived this long. Like, I'm not the same human that survived in these woods and like foraged and hunted. I have space-aged fabrics, right? Like all over me. And I'm freezing to death. Like, you think about, dude, every animal just lives out here naked. Right? You don't ever think about that. But a deer doesn't have a nice LEO thermal jacket with a space blanket with like a flannel as a pillow strung up in a nylon tube. And I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich while napping. It was really strange how my brain shut off, but I was still eating at the same time. Oh, damn it, there's dirt in my PB&J. God damn it. This was so good.
I'm okay, I'm like falling asleep. I like fell asleep on the mic.
Tyler, can we put you in the van and we'll all be quiet? We'll shut the lights down so you can just sleep 5 minutes.
I don't think I'll get out.
Okay.
I think it's no secret that sleep is extremely important. And during this month, when everything is so chaotic and I'm working as hard as I can, sleep duration is always reduced by 30 or 40%. Now, I have the YUUT, join.woot.com/VC, allows me to, that's a main reason how I'm tracking my calories. The YUUT tracks my burn, and then I use an app called Macros, which is totally free, and I scan the stuff, I put that in. That's what I track my intake. Now, in years past, I have just sacrificed sleep altogether to get what I need to get done. And that's okay in a short term, but really sleep is one of the most, it is a performance enhancing drug. Like, you need quality sleep. But that's the key, quality. I'm gonna show you a couple screenshots of my YUUT quality, because what's insane, and I don't wanna give you this huge product plug, but I started taking Delta G ketones after rides, post ride, right before I go to bed. Essentially, I get done riding here, I take about 5 grams of this ketones, then head to bed. They told me that would help with quality of sleep. I didn't believe them, but my REM sleep has been off the charts. This one right here is probably the craziest one. 5 hours, 45 minutes of sleep. That's total duration. My REM sleep was 33% of that, 2 hours and 6 minutes. That is quality. And that has happened many, many times. But also I have an eye mask. So eye mask plus ketones has equaled above average REM sleep. REM sleep is the type of regenerative sleep for your brain. Deep sleep is the type of regenerative sleep for your body. So, you know, I haven't really been pushing my body very hard this month. It's been very kind of structured and to the point, but I'm not overreaching. I am overreaching with the brain. So REM sleep has been extremely important, and objectively, I have been hitting that. All right, let's talk about one thing about this year that really allowed me to sort of take it to the next level, to sort of up my game, and that would be time and zones. Now, there is not this one secret trick that you need to know to... I have been training consistently for 10 years, and that is the number one thing that you need to control first, is your consistency. I've never had a year where I've doubled the volume. I've never had a year where I've cut it in half. It has been almost like I know what I'm doing, this very slow progression of just adding miles, adding hours, adding TSS. Every year I add like 10, 15% to the total. And that is such a base of steady growth. My program is extremely consistent. Like, I know what I can do in the year is 100% obtainable. And so bumping that 5%, or if it's a bad year and I go under 5%, that's not bad either way. It's consistent. So I have this crazy consistent base underneath me with that checked off. The other thing that I've done this year a ton, and Dylan Johnson has a lot of videos on this. I talked to Dylan Johnson about this at Unbound, is essentially like 70% super easy, 25% pretty hard, 5% maximum effort, right? That's kind of how your intensity should be broken out. And a lot of times you feel bored. You almost feel like this is way too easy. I'm not getting enough out of this. But a phrase that I really like is that most people train too hard on their easy days and too easy on their hard days. One of my biggest things that I look at is on Training Peaks, my fitness form fatigue. And the way that in my head I understand it is that fatigue, I need a bucket to put it. And so when your fatigue score gets really, really high, you're filling your bucket. And so if you go into, say, an impossible route, where are you going to put all of this stress, all of this fatigue? So when I go into impossible routes, every single time I come in a little heavy, right? I actually purposely put on a little bit of fat because of how much fat I'm going to need to pull from my body. And my peak fitness is not my goal. I try to bump my ceiling going into an impossible route. I try to do real intense, short duration efforts. But for the most part, I taper going into it to where that my fatigue score is really, really low. So that my form is sometimes like positive 20 or positive 30. That bucket is empty. Even though I might be a little less fit, I can dump so much stress into this bucket. And that's how I'm able to do these multi-day, crazy 36-hour, and still be strong at the end, because there's a place to put all that fatigue, to put all that stress. After nationals, can you explain your thoughts on how I am after these mega events?
Well, I don't necessarily see you after most events, but that one was definitely surprising because you just took a nap and then we went and I think we ordered dinner, but you were like fine, as if you just did a bike ride. So that was kind of crazy. I mean, I think you're a little cracked like mentally after you come back. I wouldn't say like you lay around for a couple weeks, but I think you definitely get some relaxation in, you know what I mean? I think the bigger issue is that you have a lot of stress before you do these events. And so you're constantly thinking that you're sick before you do one of these events, but I think it's just stress.
Okay, so food-wise. Now, this month has been definitely different. And I think I've tried to show that really well. But I always battled with this sort of matrix of increase weight, increase power, but not in a good way, like kind of fat weight, right? Like pudgy, soft. Or I would reduce that weight, but I would reduce my power and I would just get like Skeletor. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to weigh 150 and just have no arms and not feel like overall fit. But this seemed to be locked. I wanted to try something different, and that was tracking my macros as religiously as possible, and then trying to focus on getting in adequate protein every single day. What this has allowed me to do is break that to where now I can reduce my weight and increase my power, which is exactly what you want, right? You want that difference, that power to weight. But I also wanted bigger raw power for some of the ultra distance things that I'm doing. So then I wanted to increase my overall weight, to increase my overall raw power, but also have that spread. So I have still a good watt per kilo. I cannot believe in essentially 3 weeks, 4 weeks, what tracking my macros has done. It has unlocked something in me. I feel I'm standing up straighter, like my back is better. Like I have all these supporting muscles on my upper body that is helping me just be a better cyclist. Now, I've always done glute work and band work and core work, but just still always felt kind of like a noodle up front, up top. I don't feel like a noodle, man. So that has been my biggest change by far this month. And I will continue this. I'm very interested though to see at when I start doing these massive efforts, when I'm burning 7, 8, 9, 10,000 calories in the day. What does that actually look like if I try to replace those calories? If I try to get an adequate protein? Because before I would be way over most of the days, and then I would do these huge projects and be way under and have these crazy swings in weight and muscle loss and fat loss and the whole thing, which then I felt like threw my hormones into such a weird place. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up here because I gotta finish the edit from yesterday. We've got a special dinner planned. I wanna try to get home by 9. I promised her I'd be home by 9. That's what I said. I'm gonna try to stick to that. The content creation this month has rejuvenized my desire to create content. I do 100% of the edit, the music search, everything, thumbnails, description. This is my art. I never will give that to someone else because it's not their story to tell. And I'm so proud of the stories I tell because I tell it through my eyes.
Make the same amount of money as if you were going what you pay to go to an event.
Yeah, she asked like if I made more videos, could the ad revenue justify? And no, the ad revenue wouldn't because it's very low, but maybe you bring on a sponsor to the videos. I don't want to bring on a sponsor, so in comes Ride Bikes. If Ride Bikes is a sponsor of everything I do, that makes a justification of putting a ton of time and energy and money into content without having to saturate it with sponsors. And I hope it works out. My plan is to become a 2-time national champion, to podium at Unbound 350, to maybe become a world champion 24 hours. That's a hefty goal, but that is something I want to try to do. And then I want to, the free ride and a bunch of other things, but like, I really appreciate you. I got to get to work. We got to get to dinner. Let's do it. What do you think the coolest project is that I've ever done?
My dad's a national champion.
You like that? That was cool.
Well, I think the coolest part of the France trip was that you Insta-storied it the whole time. So then it made me feel like I was there with you and like really got to experience it. And then watching The Impossible when it came out made it even more cool because then I've like felt like I was there with you and like kind of got to see it play out.
Okay, you want to know how supportive my wife was? We just sat here for a good 30 minutes doing the final sign-off, and I left the camera in slow-mo. So that means no audio. We were just about getting into bed. And I even joked. I said, imagine if I didn't record it.
We said some good stuff.
We said some good. It was real good. The video was great. She's not going to say this on camera, but I was taking a piss. And like somehow Creeper, she goes, let me see that six-pack again. And I wasn't even doing anything. I was just taking a pee in my onesie and it was down.
Well, because ever since I've known you, you've had like this little bit of belly pooch. That's never gone away. You know what I mean? Like even from you having a big belly to then eating healthy and working out like crazy, you've still had this like little layer of fat on your stomach. And so it's so weird that you've had it as long as I've known you, but then in this small, short span, it's gone. You want a brownie for that?
She said that joke earlier.
And it was a hit. They lost it.
If you want to accomplish something so great and grand in your life that it forks your destiny in a different direction, you cannot be balanced. You have to be so psychotic about the mission that your whole life is about to go into shambles. You have to know how to get right to that line of destroying your life to achieve something so great. Now, I don't want to say like these vlogs are so great, but learning how to work this hard in all the different verticals, it really sets my year up and it teaches me what working hard is. It teaches me that I can wake up early, that I can eat well, that I can. It's easy for me to say this though because I have an absolute rock star here that allows me to do these things and not add any extra stress or issue. One of my favorite nights this month has been when I came home and I just laid in your lap, curled up like a little baby, and you just, like kind of pet me and I fell asleep and I got 3 hours of REM sleep that night. It was awesome. And I just felt so protected and so loved. And this teamwork is what you need to achieve great things. Like you need work ethic, you need all these other things, cool, but you need a support team. My boy, he's my support team. It's awesome. But this month has rejuvenated my love for YouTube, and it's because of you guys. So I thank you so very much, guys. I appreciate you. And one last time, as always, vegan cyclist.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. You're so good.